Turning to the Middle East, the actions of the Israeli military in two separate war zones are in the spotlight. One is in Lebanon, involving an interaction with UN peacekeepers. The other is in Gaza. This is the aftermath of an Israeli airstrike on a school being used as a shelter by displaced civilians. First responders report dozens of casualties. The CBC's Crystal Gamansing is in Jerusalem with more.
Israel Defense Forces are defending their actions in Deir al-Balah, that is in central Gaza. Earlier today, there was an airstrike on a former school turned into shelter for displaced people. Now, according to the Palestinian Red Crescent, at least 28 people were killed in that strike and 54 wounded. Now, that number has been changing throughout the day and is expected to continue rising. We can show you some images captured by a freelance cameraman hired by CBC, really showing the chaos and disturbing nature of that scene. As you would expect from a displaced people's shelter, there were adults and children being housed there. Israel Defense Forces saying that it was a targeted strike, that Hamas was using that compound as an operations center and operations that were being organized that would put the lives of Israeli soldiers and Israeli citizens at risk. They are also saying that they took steps to mitigate the risk to civilians, that they used precision munitions, that they used aerial surveillance and extra intelligence for that strike. There was also a strike in Gaza City. This one was on a clinic. Again, it was a clinic being used as a shelter for displaced people. You saw a number of people going into the rubble, trying to look for survivors. In that incident, there have been a number of individuals wounded, rushed to hospital, which is again another issue because the hospitals are just so challenged to deal with these sort of injuries. In the meantime, across the border in the conflict in Lebanon, there is a new issue being raised, this time by UNIFIL. Those are the peacekeepers that maintain the blue line, the division line between Israel and Lebanon. Those peacekeepers have been reportedly fired on 3 different occasions. And UNIFIL put out a statement reminding all parties, including the IDF and all actors, of their obligations to ensure the safety and security of UN personnel as well as property. 2 UN peacekeepers were injured earlier, and they are still currently in hospital. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.